Hello everybody, welcome to today's mixed media project, and it's going to be a small canvas, and it's going to be a quick and simple one. I want to use rice paper as the background, and then I'm going to be stamping a tree and doing all little blossom. So it's just going to be a quick simple mixed media project, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so the canvas measures, I'll do it inches and centimetres. So the canvas measures in inches, 10 inches, and it's just over 25 centimetres by 8 centimetres, which is just over 8 inches, which is just over 20 centimetres. I'm going to be using this sheet of beautiful rice paper from Carnation Crafts, so I'm going to be using a sheet of this. Get the sheet out. I can get it out. There we are. Right, so I'm going to be using that sheet, and I'm going to place it on there like that. And I've got this tree stamp which I want to stamp here, so I'm going to stamp that there. And I'm going to use, I've got a couple of little birds that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to add some texture by stamping around. So they're the stamps that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using Versamark, Versafine, I beg your pardon, in Vintage Sepia and Smoky Grey, and for the little blossoms on the tree, I'm using Imagination Crafts, Starlights, and I've got Pink Sunset, Pearl, and Bright Fuchsia. So first thing I'm going to do, using my decoupage, fabric decoupage, I'm going to be putting this on here. I'm just making sure that I get all the edges. Might need some more, I think. There we go. Oh, I really like this fabric decoupage glue. Does the job really well. So I'll just pop that down, and then I'm going to lie this down and place my thing over it, canvas over it, and press down. Lift it up. And I know that's not stuck there, so I'll add a bit more. onto here. Whoops, maybe a bit too much. Just get some. There we go. I'm going to pop that to one side now. That can go in the bin. That's finished. And instead of using plastic, I'm using cling foil, because I'm aware, trying to be environmentally friendly as much as I can. And I'm using this, so I'm going to give that a quick blast with the heat gun. Okay, just a tip when you're drying something, if you lift it off, if you leave it down, it kind of just, the heat just permeates underneath. So I'm lifting it up and drying it, which is you know, a good thing. So I just want to use my craft knife, which if I can find it, there it is, and I'm just going to cut off the excess. There we go. So that's that done. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to just use this, and I'm going to stamp some texture around. And I'm going to use the VersaFine Sepia Grey. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I just want to going to add this here so that I've got something to ground my tree on. Get rid of all the white space, and we'll have some coming down here. There we go. So that's my next layer. So I'm just going to give that a quick blast. There we go. So that's that done. I can go back in there. And next I want to stamp my tree, and I'm going to stamp my tree there, like that. So, as you can see, which is why I've done the stamping there, so my tree's kind of grounded. So I need a block for that. There we go. There we go. So I want to, I want to heat emboss the tree. So I'm going to use Wow clear embossing powder. And I'm using the VersaFine in Sepia. So I want a really good a good layer of this, so I'm going to stamp it really well. I'm using some corn flour in a bag just to round the area. I'll just do that again. Because I've not used this stamp before, I always like to do a practice run. So I'll just do that. There we go. So I know it's right, okay. So I like to stand up when I'm stamping. And I'm just going to place that down and keeping one hand on the board, on the stamp block. I'm just going to press down, making sure I've got the tree stamped. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is just throw some embossing powder over it. And as you can see, it's gone darker or paler, that's what I meant to say. So we stamp this now. Now I'm going to add, this is leaves, and I'm going to add some leaves onto this. Move that off. And I've got a vase of Vining Green, I think, yeah. I've got Spanish moss, so I'm going to stamp this. As you know, I always like to give it, because it's a new stamp, I always like to give it a practice. I like to do a practice run, so to speak. There we go. Right, okay, so I need to position this now around the tree. So I think there, and then just work my way around. So I've got some leaves as well, but I'm going to cover it in blossom. There we go. I lift it up. So I'm just going to give it a quick blast again. So that can go there, that can go there. And I want a little teeny, I've got this little birdie. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this little birdie, and I'm going to stamp him with the smoky grey. I might have a couple of little birdies actually. I might put one on here, down here. And then I'm going to put one on this branch here. And then we'll have another one. I think we'll have another one in the tree. In the tree. There we go. So I've got 3 birdies. So that's all my stamping done. So now I want to get on with the blossom. I want to get the blossom done. And what I've done is I've got 3 cotton wool buds, Q-tips, whatever you call them. And I'm just going to use this as a, let me just wipe that over. Where's me? It is. I'm just going to clean that, make sure that's clean. There we go. And I'm going to put a colour, a little bit of each of these colours onto this. So I've got bright fuchsia, if I can get in it. So I've got bright fuchsia, I've got pale, and I've got pink sunset. Right, okay. And all I'm going to do is, I'm going to, let's see, I want them so they're like that in a triangle shape. And what I'm going to do is go in the middle and then I'm just going to dot around. Just going to dot around the branches. So while I do this, I'm going to play some music. So there we are. I've done that around, and I've done it so some of them have fallen off the tree and around the base of the tree, because we've got a beautiful cherry blossom tree in the garden, and it doesn't last very long because you can guarantee the rain will. So that's another way of getting flowers, blossoms on a tree. So good technique to use that. I'm going to quickly give that a quick blast with the heat gun. And I think I'm going to paint my little birdies. I'm going to do them blue. I'm going to do little bluebirds. And I want a green, and I'm hoping I'm going to use a nice kiwi green and paint the little leaves. So I'm going to set that to heat. Okay, so get some of this blue on here. And I've got a little brush. I'm just going to paint my little bluebirds. Not going to overpower them. Just want a little bit, just so they stand out. do this bit. Don't want him covered from the, I tried to be really careful not to cover him with the blossom because I wanted him to poke through. There we go. So that's the little bird. All the little birdies painted. So I've got one there, and one there. Now I want to do the I'm going to put that back in the pot. And these wooden sticks are from Starbucks or Costa Coffee or wherever you go. I always try and pick up a handful because they come in handy with me crafting. Wipe that off so I don't contaminate it. And then I want some green. There we go. And I'm just going to, all the leaves that I can see, I'm just going to add some green just to make them pop more. So while I paint the leaves, I'll play some music and fast forward. So that's all done now. I'm really pleased with how that's come out. You know when you have an idea in your head and you think, oh yeah, that'd be good. So the last thing I want to do is just edge everything, and what I'm going to use, I'm using a piece of sponge, and I'm going to just edge. I need some glue because this hasn't stuck. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm using this sponge and I'm just mixing the three pinks together, the pinks and the pale together, and I'm just going to ink the edge. So it's just a quick, simple canvas that I wanted to do with some stamps, rice paper, and of course some of the Starlight paints. But I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. I think maybe I could do with a word there. So I'm going to have a look through my stencils. I just want to have a look for a word. Let's see. I'm sure I've got something. Oh, I could use this. I think I'm going to use this. It's from the Secret Garden collection by Sue Baker. And I'm going to just, it's got Nature's Creations, and that's what I'm going to call this. So I'm just going to use the same sponge and just sponge it through. There we go. Nature's Creations, and I think there might be a... So that is my canvas completed, and I am going to sign this with my initials. And that is Nature's Creations canvas. I hope you've enjoyed. I've enjoyed making this. Just shows you how you can use so little products to create something really, really pretty. So I've got rice paper. I've used the stamp as a background and used it to thingy my tree. I can't remember what the words now. To ground my tree. I've got little birds. I've used 5 different colours of Starlight paints. I've heat embossed the tree. And the reason I've been able to do that is because I put the rice paper on, so it acted as, instead of stamping onto canvas, because it's very, very, very difficult to stamp onto canvas, and so I've stamped onto the rice paper, which has then enabled me to heat emboss and then stamp the leaves, and then I've just gone in with a simple 3 Q-tip technique to create the little blossom. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed. I've certainly enjoyed it, and until next time everybody, happy crafting. Bye bye for now.